From an agricultural standpoint, from a winery standpoint, the number one thing that we were always worried about in New Jersey was winter temperatures. And when I came on in the 80s, we basically said, you got to be in the southernmost part of the state. Right now, we're growing vinifera all the way into northwest Jersey. So because there's less chance of the vineyard dying due to the winters.
Rising temperatures are transforming the winemaking landscape around the world. But as climate change threatens traditional winemaking regions, New Jersey, the 7th largest wine-producing state in the country, is rapidly becoming a wine country itself.
Because of this global warming and it's warmer in the winter, we're actually experimenting with a whole host of grapes from France and Spain and Italy and Germany. Rutgers did a study and we have 87 different varieties being grown in New Jersey now. Because of this warm-up, we can actually look at this kind of thing.
So now we try to go like one trunk, one cane, and then this trunk. These are just like insurance, like that's safety. Alba originally got it started in 1982. A wealthy Italian family, they really did their homework and scouted out the land. My family took over in 97. And of course, New Jersey, we get the extremes, hot in the summer and the cold in the winter. So the window of time is only about 240 growing degree days. So Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Riesling, and Cab Franc are the main four that we focus on.
We've been here since 2009 was our first season that we opened up. Land's been in the family since 1940. We've been specializing in dry vinifera wines since we opened up. Basically your Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio.
We've kind of had some problems over the years. It's been some random freak late frosts. So even not this past year, but the year before, we had to get helicopters to come in and buzz over the vineyard. It's expensive, we've never had to do that before, but the last frost event was May 15th, which is super late. Normally it's like end of April. And so essentially your season's from the last frost until the first frost. At the beginning of the season, it's been a lot more hectic with that. But essentially towards the end of the summer, especially now, just with the heat that we get, that's gonna help push ripening and push us towards the finish. So as long as we can make it past those frost events, which we easily can, we get those flavors towards the end of the season.
Over the years, we've definitely seen some fluctuation in temperatures, the polar vortexes in the winter times, and we've seen some variation in the summer. Last year was actually cooler, generally speaking, so we actually had, it was like a longer growing season where it wasn't quite as hot, which extends how long it takes to ripen the fruit. This year it's been a little bit warmer than it was last year, so we're seeing called veraison, it's when the grapes start to ripen. That's already happened, and so that's a little bit earlier this season than it has been in some of the other years. So any kind of fluctuation is going to change how it ultimately plays out for the end of our season and for when harvest starts to happen.
The negatives from a New Jersey standpoint, you're more likely to get severe storms. The last thing that grape vineyards want is a deluge of 5 inches of rain in 2 hours. And that really makes the grapes just blow up with water. It's almost like taking a bottle of wine, pouring a quarter of it out and filling it with water. And as it gets warmer, you're going to see more problems that you didn't expect. For instance, we're dealing with the spotted lanternfly that came in from Asia. I mean, this is an insect that nobody saw coming, and that can wipe out a vineyard. When I was growing up, we never worried about tornadoes in New Jersey. We never heard about it. That was something that happened in Kansas. Something that severe to any kind of agricultural operation, doesn't matter what it is, could be devastating, absolutely devastating. These severe weather episodes could really be terrible. So there are positives and negatives here. What is going to happen in 2030, 2040, 2050? There's going to be ramifications 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, and who's to say?